Good morning. We were on Siman Reish Pei Bet Seif Dalet in the middle of the Siman discussing the laws of Kriyat HaTorah on Shabbat. So, says the Shulchan Aruch Seif Dalet. נוהגים לקרות שבעה ולגמור עמהם הפרשה ואומר קדיש וחוזר וקורא עם המפטיר מה שקרא השביעי. The minhag is every week we read the whole parsha, but of course we know that we do 7 aliyahs, and that with the 7th, I think the main point here is that with the 7th aliyah is when we finish the parsha, we say Kaddish, and then the maftir repeats part of what the 7th aliyah read. And the point is because some in the Gemara, there's a machlok in the Gemara whether the maftir is an 8th aliyah or is the 7th. Haga v'chen noagim b'yom tov she'en maftir miminyan hakiruim. And that's the minhag on Yom Tov as well, that the maftir is not part of the main, the minimum, right? Because Yom Tov you need to have 5 aliyahs, and the maftir is the 6th. אבל בחול שאסור להוסיף על מניין הקרואים השלישי הוא מפטיר. But during the weekday, whenever you have haftar in the weekday, which for Sephardim is only like on Tisha B'Av, so then in that case the third, meaning the mashlim is also the maftir. וביום שמוציאים שני ספרים או שלושה המפטיר קורא באחרונה. Any day you take 2 or 3 Torahs out, the maftir always reads the last. His aliyahs is from the last Sefer Torah. וחתן יכול לקרוא בפרשת המוספין או בארבע פרשיות המשובצים באדר. And even a kid under bar mitzvah can get an aliyah of maftir, even if the maftir, like we said, is from a separate Sefer Torah, like on the 4 weeks of during Adar, etc. From here it sounds like from here the Rama says that's their minhag, but it sounds from here that you can give even Parshat Zachor to a kid under bar mitzvah. Even though it says the Rama that there are those that argue. Now I think we're going to see that, or that for Sephardim at least, Mechatchila, we don't give a kid under bar mitzvah to read to Parshat Zachor. Meaning for sure he's not allowed to read the Parsha for everyone, but the point is even to give the kid to give him the aliyah, even that we don't usually. ואומרים קדיש קודם שעולה המפטיר. We always say Kaddish before the maftir, like we said, ואין חילוק בזה בין הוסיפו על מן הקוראים או לא, בין מוסיפים ספר תורה אחד או שלושה. It says, doesn't matter whether we added any aliyahs, like whether we did mosif or not, it doesn't matter, and whether we take out 1 Torah or 3, we always say we say Kaddish before the maftir. The rule is by Kaddish is that you always say Kaddish after you finish the minimum amount of aliyah. So like on Shabbat, after you finish the 7th aliyah, you say Kaddish. On Yom Tov, after the 5th aliyah, you say Kaddish. Okay. From the Ramatz Mashma, you only say 1 Kaddish before the maftir, even when there's 2 Torahs. But we know the Sephardim minhag is that when you have 2 Torahs, you'll say Kaddish after each Sefer Torah, in general. Okay. Fine. Let's see. Mishna Berura Siman Katan Yud Het. נוהגים מה שנהגו למכור שישי בפני עצמו יש חסר צמח מהזוהר שלח לך. He sounds like it's interesting that in the days of the Mishna Berura, or whoever is talking, the Magen Avraham is saying this, that they used to sell the 6th aliyah separately. And he says that there's a hint to this from the Zohar. And we know that according to the Arizal, that the 6th is the highest. And also says the Pri Megadim that the last aliyah is also sold separately because it's dear, since it's the last. You finish the parsha with it. Now it sounds like for me they used to not sell all the aliyahs that otherwise they set up maybe like as a package or something. Umikol makom. I've been to a shul in Eretz Yisrael that they offer in the beginning, because anyways, they don't like sell such high bids, so they say, okay, anyone wants to buy everything, like they'll sell for like a higher price, and in other words, whoever buys it, he can give it out to anyone he wants. Umikol makom. Nevertheless, has v'halila litchov has v'shalom, to fight over this. Shekol atiot haTorah hem kulam chadoshim utorim. Don't think that, oh, you got this aliyah, that aliyah. He says all the letters of the Torah are holy and pure. It says in Mishna. So, okay. According to the Arizal, the order of the aliyahs is the 6th, the 3rd, the 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th, and 7th. Liqrot shiv'ah. Mishna Berura Yutet. Dehina min adin g'ayim al maftir ol shiva. Really, the halacha is that we say that you could, that the maftir counts as part of the 7 aliyahs. Technically, the mashlim could also be the maftir. ויכול לגמור פרשת דיינה הסדרה עם המפטיר שהוא השביעי ואחר כלומר קדיש. ואך כדי לעשות גם דת המאמרים במקום המפטיר עולה למען שבעה, כלומר אנחנו ללכות שבעה שעולים חוד בשבתיהם המפטיר, כדי להודיע על הכל שהמפטיר אינו ממינן העולים, תוכלו גם שאנחנו לחזור להפסיק בקדיש בין קריאתו לקריאת שאר העולים, ולא מוכרח לגמור הסדרה בתחילה, כדי שתזכר בקדיש באמצע הקריאה, ואחר לחזור עם המפטיר, כמו שלושה פסוקים ממה שקרא השביעי או האחרון. So he's saying that what? That, like we said, there's a machloket in the Gemara. Is the maftir part of the 7 or not part of the 7? So he's saying, really, we hold that it's part of the 7. Like we said, really, the 7th could also do the haftarah. But in order to fulfill all opinions, what we do in general is that we first do 7 aliyahs, then we say Kaddish, and then we repeat the last 3 pesikim or so for the maftir. Right? And therefore, since we do a Kaddish between the 7th and the maftir to show that the maftir is not part of the 7, that's why we make sure to finish the parsha before the Kaddish, in order not to interrupt in the middle of the parsha with the Kaddish. Okay. Right. Okay. כף. ולגמור עמהם הפרשה, והוא הדין יכול להוסיף עוד על השבעה. אך העיקר השמינן דנחו שלא להשלים במפטיר את הפרשה, וכך לומר קדיש, אלא עם הקדיש, קודם קודם המפטיר, ולא מוכרח לגמור כל הסדרה מתחילה, קודם אמרת הקדיש, כמו שאתה בסעיף קטן י' ט'. Okay. Fine. Mishna Berura is just adding a small point that you... Okay. כף אף. וכן נוהגים ביום טוב, ורוצה לומר שגם ביום טוב, אף דמדינה היה מותר למפטיר להיות מן המניין 5, וכל אחד מנהגים גם כשאין מפטיר מן המניין, לכל אחד מפני עצמם בפרשת שעות היום, והקדיש אומר קודם. וכל אחד יוצא בזה אף למען דאמר עולה מן המניין, שרב הפסחים סוברים דמותר להוסיף. So Yom Tov, the same thing. Yom Tov, like we're saying, that we do first 5 aliyahs, then Kaddish, then the maftir. Although technically the 5th aliyah could have been the maftir. Okay? And he's adding that we're yotze both shitas because you're allowed to add aliyahs even on Yom Tov. So, okay. רέφ-ד או שלושה, כגון ראש חודש, טבת שחל בשבת, שזכרות בפרשת השבוע, פרשת ראש חודש, נשל חנוכה, שמחת תורה, שזכרות פרשת וזאת הברכה, וראשית פרשת המוספים, ומפסיד בלבד קורא באחרונה ובין ראשונים המניין או שמוספים על המניין, הכל עולים בשני ספרים הראשונים. Okay, saying that the few cases, there are only a few times that you take out 3 Torahs, either Rosh Chodesh Tevet that falls on Shabbat, doesn't add this, or let's say Rosh Chodesh Adar falls on Shabbat, which I think is going to be this coming year, and also if on Simchat Torah. So in all these cases, always the maftir reads from the 3rd Torah, and all the other aliyahs read from the other Torahs. כף ג' או פרשיות, ואף על פי שבר זכור היא חוב מן התורה שאין כל אדם ישראל, וכתבנו שאינו מחויב בדבר. אין יכול להוציא מידי חובתם, מכל מקום הרי עכשיו של הציבור קוראים משהו לציבור מסוים מידי חובתן. Says the reason why you can give a kid under bar mitzvah the aliyah of Zachor is because, like we said, the kid is not reading Parshat Zachor, he's just saying the bracha Torah. Some are machmir not to give him the aliyah, and so to also Parshat Para. Some say that's also from the Torah. And that, okay, and that's what I said the Sfaradim hold. וביום ראשון של שבועות שקוראים המקבל מפטיר וכן משהו של פסח שלום השם בשבוע שבוע כנגד שקוראים אותו מפטיר. Also on certain Shabbats we have meaning not to give the katan and maftir like Shavuot first day and also Shvi shel Pesach and Shabbat Shuvah. Some say that you shouldn't give the kid any of the 4 parshiot, meaning Zachor, Shkalim, Para, and Chodesh. שיודע לחתוך האותיות בטוב. לא יודע מה שמנחים הקטנים הרבה לומר ההפטרה. מכן אברהם. Okay, saying that even when you do give a kid the aliyah, and let's say he's reading the haftarah, make sure you give it. Obviously, you have to be a kid that is at least, let's say, 6-7 years old, and also that he's able to read the words properly. Okay, and that's sometimes an issue even with the adults. Okay. כ"ד אף על פי שיש חולקים היינו ההולקים סובירה לו דבר שבת שוקר המפטיר מה שקורה קרא השביעי אז לא קטן אשר כמחול אלו שוקר המפטיר פרשת שלו ולעשות. Some hold that you can never give a kid under bar mitzvah maftir when you're reading something new. Okay? חפי ברמות קדיש לא יש בזה כלום על המחבר רק נשאר מה שסיים לבסוף להילוך אין לו בכל פעם אומרים הקדיש קודם המפטיר בדווקא חבב קודם שעולה המפטיר היינו בשבת אבל בחול שהמפטיר ממנה הקוראים אומרים קדיש המפטיר לאחר שמכניסים לספטר להיכל לא קודם שנדון מקדיש עד שנשלם המניין ועוד הפסח ואחרי מכל המועד סוכות אומרים קדיש עד שהרביעי דאז כבר נשלם המניין הקוראים. So he's saying that the rule is you always say קדיש after, like we said, you read the minimum amount of the aliyahs. So therefore on the weekday if you're having a haftarah you're going to say Qadish after the 3rd aliyah. Okay, and he's adding that on Pesach, if you know, on Chol HaMoed Pesach, we take out 2 Torahs, and we do the first 3 aliyahs read from the first Torah, and the 4th reads from the second. Since you need minimum of 4 aliyahs, therefore by Pesach, Chol HaMoed Pesach, we don't say Qadish after the first Sefer Torah, only after the second. Okay, Seif, hey, im lo nimsa mi sheodea שולחן ערוך, מי להפטיר אלא אחד מאותם שעלו לקרות בתורה, או כבר אמר שלהציבור קדיש אחר קריאת הפרשה. אז זה שעושה להפטיר צריך לחזור ולקרות, וברך על קריאתו תהילה בסוף. הגע, אבל אם לא אמר קדיש, יפטיר מי שעלה לשביעי אם יודע, ואם יש אחרים שיודעים להפטיר, לא יפטיר מי שעלה כבר. Let's say after the 7 aliyahs, and you said Kaddish, you realize that there's no one that knows how to read the Haftarah except one of the people that already got an aliyah. So fine, you give that you can give. He's saying that you can actually give that a person you can give the maftir to someone who already had an aliyah, but this is all because you already said the Kaddish. So, but the Rama adds. Right, the Shulchan Aruch is saying that you could give the maftir to one of the right, but the Rama adds that if you didn't say Kaddish and if the 7th aliyah knows how to say haftarah, then he should just do the haftarah. He should do the haftarah, meaning, right? In that case, we would the mashlim would be also the maftir. Okay, but he's saying that if there is someone that does know how to say the haftarah, meaning someone that didn't get an aliyah, then we give it to him. Okay, let's see the Mishna Berura Siman Katan Chav Zayin. אם נבהור עדים בשבת של חזון, אפילו נמצא מי שיודע להפטיר בנביא, רק שלא יודע לכונן כנהוג. Okay, he says that the minhag was on Shabbat Chazon, which is the Shabbat before Tisha B'Av, the minhag was to say the haftarah in the tune of like echas. So he's saying that if the only one that knows how to do that tune is someone that already had an aliyah, you give it to them, one of them. Okay, but what happens we hold dafka that minhag is that we don't, since it's Shabbat, we don't do that. Okay, Chavchet tzarich lachzor v'likrot va'afilu hashivit urtze la'aftir tzarich lachzor v'likrot kivan shefsich b'kadish. Okay, so he's saying once you say kaddish, that we just said that you have to make a new aliyah, and he's saying even if the guy that did the seventh aliyah is given again the maftir, he once you do kaddish, he has to say the bracha Torah again. Okay. And the reason why I say the bracha Torah again, if he just said, because if someone walks in now and he sees that he's just going to read without a bracha, so it's not good. Oh, I'm sorry. He's saying that the reason why we make the guy that just said had an aliyah to read again from the Torah is because if someone walks in now and he sees the guy after Kaddish just starting haftarah, it's not proper because it looks like he's reading the haftarah without reading from the Torah first. היינו דאי המפטיר יפטיר בנביאים בדברי חלב ולא יקראו בתורה, הרי אנו משווים דברי הנביאים לתורה בקרא וברכה, חסר לקרוא המפטיר בתורה תהילה, זה שהתורה עיקרית. The question is, why does the maftir have to read from the Torah first? Why can't he just start from the haftarah? The answer is, the Gemara says, because if you just had 7 aliyahs where the 7 aliyahs is read from the Torah, and then the 8th aliyah is just reading from the Navi, it looks like the Navi is the same as the Torah. So therefore, we read from the Torah first to show now that the Torah is always higher. But the best is, once you do Kaddish, and the only one that knows how to read haftarah is one of the ones that already had an aliyah, the best is not to give the aliyah to the one that just said had the aliyah, right? The mashlim, rather to give to one of the someone else. Right? Yeah. Different yeah, one of the earlier aliyahs. Yeah. Chavtet. יפטיר מי שעלה, היינו שיפטיר בנביא, וצריך לחזור ולקרוא בתורה, אבל מה שקרה בשביל בסיום הפרשה, או כשזה מי שקרה באחרון, עולה גם מפטיר, דרך המלאי מפטיר עולה למען שבעה, עולה בסביבה, ואחרי שאמר אחר כך תפטר בחותה. So we said that if you did not say Kaddish after the 7th aliyah yet, and you realize that there's no one that can read the haftarah except one of the ones that had an aliyah, so then we said that the mashlim right away starts haftarah, and then of course he doesn't have to read from the Torah again. And in that case, you say the Kaddish after the haftarah. Say the same thing. The Pri says, if they didn't say Kaddish and they didn't remember until after the maftir already started saying Bracha Torah, in that case also you say the Kaddish after the end of the haftarah. And if the 7th aliyah does not know how to read the haftarah, then for sure in any case you're going to call someone, and we said that the only one that knows haftarah is one of the ones that already had an aliyah. So in that case, since you're calling someone else, the one that you're calling has to for sure first read from the Torah. So anytime you're planning to give someone the maftir, like you should not give him another aliyah, lechatchila at least. And if anytime a person gets an aliyah twice, that means he goes to an early minyan, he gets an aliyah, and he goes to a later minyan, he gets the same aliyah. Even though he's doing the same thing that you read earlier, he still makes the Torah makes the bracha before and afterwards. Okay, let's just finish the siman b'Hashem. Vav im tashlach tzibur v'sima parashem hashishi v'amar kaddish ez l'argot od aher elechem maftim hashachim hashishi. If let's say after the 6th aliyah they accidentally said the kaddish early, so then it's saying you just have to do one more aliyah, and that means that seventh aliyah can be the maftir. You don't have to do two more aliyahs. That's what the Mishna Berura says in Lamed Gimel. רוצה לומר שצריך לראות עוד 70 לבד מפטיר, שהדרי שאמר קדיש בסיום הפרשה אינו קורא כך לשם מפטיר לבד, אינו קורא כך לשם מפטיר לבד כמו שרגיל לזמן אחר קדיש ויעולה למען שיבה. Because the case is that they read the whole parsha in 6 aliyahs. They accidentally, for a reason, finished the parsha after with the 6th aliyah, and then they said the kaddish. So what do? You just call one more aliyah, and the 7th aliyah will repeat some of the. That means he'll be basically the maftir. אבל נזכר קודם שאמר קדיש, אז צריך לקרוא 1 ל-70 ממה שקרא כבר, מסיים הפרשה עמו ואמר קדיש, כך יעשו לקרוא 10 פסוקים ולהפתיע כל שבוע. But if they finish the parsha with the 6th aliyah, and they did not say Kaddish, then you'll do 2 more aliyahs. You'll call a 7th person for Shavi'i. He'll read a few pesukim of the what they just read. Then they'll say Kaddish, and then you'll call them someone to do the haftarah, maftir, and you also again repeat a few pesukim. And if you did Kaddish after the 6th aliyah, you don't have to say Kaddish again after the 7th aliyah. Okay, last Seif Zayin. قرأ הפרשה בתפילת שחרית בשבת ודילג פסוק אחד, חוזר וקורא הוא ושנם עמו ואפילו הפטיר והתפלל מוסף, חוזר וקורא. Let's say after they finished reading the Torah and they davened even musaf, they realized that they skipped a pasuk. So he says you have to take out the Torah again and call up a person, give a person an aliyah. He has to read at least, the minimum is to read 3 pesukim, so he has to read that besides the pasuk they skip, he has to read another 2 pesukim, and that's it. Says the Mishna Berura, Lamed Hey, who adin tevahat. Not only he's saying, even if it says not only if you miss a whole pasuk, even if you skip a word, you also have to take out the Torah again. Imagine that. The responsibility of the Baal Koreh to read properly. Because according to this, let's say he read a word wrong, which changes the meaning. According to this, yeah. Lamed Vav, Hozer v'Koreh, etc. I mean, now that we just mentioned this, so just you have to know that it's how important it is for the Baal Koreh to practice properly, know how to read. It's a lot. It's not easy, but there's a lot of sachar in there, and to read it loud, everyone could hear. At least some people to hear the whole tzibur b'lachatchila, of course. Some people read it, some of it so quietly. They skip or they mumble, or there's some of the letters, etc. Okay, and of course, besides all the rules of the ta'amim and dikduk. Should we just? There's one more siman, very small. Should we just quickly do? Why don't we take out 2 Torahs every Shabbat? And why should we take out 2 Torahs every Shabbat? Every Shabbat you have a korban musaf, right? So you should take out 2 Torahs every Shabbat, and from the second Torah you should read the parsha musaf of Shabbat. Why don't we take out 2 Torahs every Shabbat and read the Parsha Musaf on the second Torah? The answer is because the Musaf of Shabbat is only 2 Pesukim. And you need at least 3 Pesukim. So that's why we don't take out 2 Torahs. Let's just see the Mishna Berura, the one Seif. And we know we have to read at least 3 Pesukim. So why don't we just read 2 of the Musaf and add 1 from somewhere else? Because we don't want to add from another place. Another reason that Tosfot says, because we always have to have the haftarah similar to what we just read. And if we read every Shabbat from the Korban Musaf, that means every haftarah will have to be regarding the Korban Musaf. So that means all the haftarahs every week will be the same thing, basically. Okay. Hazak Baruch. Shabbat Shalom Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.